A frozen ocean is melting. And beneath the ice lies a route worth $300 billion. This isn't just about money. It's about who controls the future of global trade. Russia is racing to dominate it. China wants in. And the West is scrambling to catch up. But the truth behind this will shock you. Because this route could cut shipping times in half. It could reshape entire economies overnight. And it might decide which nation becomes the next superpower. Let me show you exactly how this happened. For centuries, the Arctic Ocean was a frozen wasteland. Ships couldn't pass through. Trade between Europe and Asia had to take the long way around. Through the Suez Canal. Around Africa. These routes added weeks to every journey. They cost billions in fuel and time. But something changed. The ice started melting. Faster than anyone predicted. Scientists noticed it first in the early 2000s. By 2015, entire shipping lanes opened up during summer. This created the Northern Sea Route. A path along Russia's Arctic coast. It connects the Atlantic to the Pacific in record time. Russia saw an opportunity. They started building ports in the frozen north. Icebreakers the size of apartment buildings. Military bases on remote islands. They poured money into infrastructure that seemed crazy. Until you understand what they knew. This route isn't just shorter. It's a game changer. Now here's where things get really interesting. The Northern Sea Route cuts the distance from Europe to Asia by 40%. Think about that. A cargo ship leaving Rotterdam for Shanghai normally travels 13,000 miles through the Suez Canal. That takes 30 to 35 days. The Arctic route? Just 8,000 miles. 20 days maximum. That's 2 weeks saved on every single voyage. For shipping companies, time is money. Each day at sea costs tens of thousands in fuel alone. Multiply that across thousands of ships. The savings are massive. But here's what most people miss. It's not just about speed. The Suez Canal charges fees. Every ship pays based on size and cargo. These fees add up to millions per year for big companies. The Northern Sea Route has lower fees. Much lower. Russia wants the business. So they're undercutting everyone. Plus there's no risk of piracy. No narrow choke points where ships get stuck. Remember the Ever Given blocking Suez in 2021? Cost the global economy $10 billion. That can't happen in the Arctic. But if you think that's crazy, wait until you hear this. Russia isn't doing this alone. China has invested billions into this project. They call themselves a near-Arctic nation. Which is wild because China is nowhere near the Arctic. But they're smart. They see the future. China is the world's manufacturing hub. Everything you buy probably came from there. Their biggest problem? Getting products to Western markets takes too long. The Northern Sea Route solves that. So China started funding Russian infrastructure. They built ports together. Shared technology for ice navigation. China even has their own icebreakers now. Massive ships designed specifically for Arctic trade. In 2023, Chinese cargo ships made over 80 transits through the route. That number doubles every 2 years. But here's the twist. This partnership makes Western nations nervous. Really nervous. Because Russia and China working together in the Arctic changes everything. The route doesn't just save money. It creates a trade corridor the West doesn't control. Europe and America built their power on controlling shipping lanes. The Suez Canal. The Panama Canal. These choke points gave them leverage. Now that leverage is disappearing. Russia controls Arctic waters. They decide who can pass. They set the rules. And they're building military bases along the entire coast. Coast Guard stations. Radar systems. Nuclear-powered icebreakers that double as warships. This isn't just business. It's strategic positioning for the next century. This brings us to the most shocking discovery of all. The Arctic is melting faster than climate models predicted. By 2030, scientists now say the route will be ice-free year-round. Not just summer. All 12 months. That changes everything we just discussed. Because right now, the route only works 4 to 5 months per year. When winter comes, ice returns. Ships can't pass without expensive icebreaker escorts. This limits traffic. But permanent ice-free passage? That creates a superhighway. Experts estimate traffic could increase by 500% in the next decade. Thousands of ships annually. The economic impact is staggering. Countries along the route will see massive growth. Russia's northern ports could become major cities. Jobs will flood into the Arctic. New industries will emerge overnight. But here's what keeps Western leaders awake at night. This route bypasses their allies completely. Ships traveling from Asia to Europe won't stop at Middle Eastern ports. Won't refuel in Mediterranean harbors. Traditional shipping routes will lose trillions in business. Entire economies built on maritime trade will collapse. Egypt relies on Suez Canal fees for $8 billion yearly. That revenue disappears. Singapore's port is the world's second busiest. Arctic routes could make it irrelevant. The power shift isn't gradual. It's happening now. And there's more. The Arctic holds 25% of Earth's undiscovered oil and gas. Russia owns most of it. With ice melting, extraction becomes possible. Energy independence. Trade dominance. Military positioning. Russia is setting up to control all three. So what does all this mean for us today? For everyday people, this affects everything. The products you buy will change. Shipping costs might drop initially. But long term, Russia and China controlling a major trade route means they control prices. They control supply chains. Your phone? Made in China. Shipped through Russian waters. If relations sour, access gets cut. Western companies know this. That's why they're quietly freaking out. Some are already adapting. European nations are investing in their own Arctic capabilities. Building icebreakers. Establishing northern bases. The United States is way behind. They have 2 functioning icebreakers. Russia has over 40. China has 5 and building more. This gap is dangerous. Because Arctic dominance isn't just economic. It's military. Those frozen waters are the shortest path for missiles and submarines. Control the Arctic, control strategic positioning between continents. NATO is scrambling to respond. Joint Arctic exercises are increasing. New defense agreements forming. But infrastructure takes decades to build. Russia started this 20 years ago. They're generations ahead. For investors and businesses, the Arctic represents opportunity and risk. Shipping companies are placing bets. Some expanding Arctic operations. Others doubling down on traditional routes. Energy companies are eyeing Arctic resources. Tech firms developing cold weather equipment. Entire new industries are forming around this shift. But timing matters. Early movers win big. Late arrivals fight for scraps. And for regular citizens? This affects geopolitical stability. Trade wars could turn real. Resources become weapons. The Arctic might be the flashpoint nobody's talking about yet. Before we wrap up, there's one final thing you need to know. Climate change is accelerating this entire process. Every year the ice melts earlier. Stays gone longer. Models keep revising predictions forward. What scientists thought would happen by 2050 is happening now. This isn't a future problem. It's present reality. And here's the kicker. The very thing making this route possible is also creating the crisis. Melting ice raises sea levels. Threatens coastal cities worldwide. Disrupts weather patterns globally. The Arctic route succeeds because the planet is warming. That warming threatens billions of lives. So we're watching a paradox unfold. Economic opportunity built on environmental catastrophe. Russia and China racing to profit before the world addresses climate change. Western nations caught between competing interests. Everyone knows what's at stake. But nobody's slowing down. Because the first to control the Arctic controls the next century of trade. The race is on. The ice is melting. And $300 billion is just the beginning. The real value? Immeasurable. Global power itself is up for grabs. If this opened your eyes, you need to see what's happening next. The Northern Sea route is reshaping global trade. Russia and China are positioning themselves to dominate. The West is scrambling to respond. And climate change is accelerating the entire timeline. These aren't distant possibilities. They're happening right now in real time. If you want to understand how the world really works, you need to follow the money and the power. And both are flowing north. Hit subscribe so you don't miss the next investigation. We're diving into China's $1 trillion Belt and Road Initiative. And how it connects directly to Arctic ambitions. Drop a like if this changed how you see global trade. And here's my question for you. Which country do you think will ultimately control the Arctic? Russia with their head start? China with their money? Or will the West catch up? Drop your prediction in the comments. Let's see who understands this game best. The future is being decided in the frozen north. And you just got the inside story.